Okay, so my bottom trees I have dried here and all that's looking perfect. We're now going to work on this last hilly mountain here. And remember how I said our plan was to make this much lighter because I'm actually going to put wording on here and I want the wording to stand out. But you certainly don't have to do that. You could use your same techniques again and just make this darker, more interesting, add some more of those floating trees in, really up to you. And then once we get that mountain done, we can come back and create our little stars of the show here are going to be our big trees that live in the middle. But, so our first, of course, is we are going to wet this area. All starts the same. We get this nice and wet. And we're going to do this one much lighter, so I'm really going to work on kind of like we did the sky, where we did our outer edges darker, and then as we came in, it was much lighter. I'm going to do kind of the same process here, starting once again with my mixture of phthalo and mineral. And I'm just going to drop in some color around these edges, just a little. I really want this one to be light, not a lot of color. So just dropping in some of that color there, and then I'm going to go right into my mauve and kind of hug those corners or the edges where my other paint dropped. I'm just going right on the edge of those. And you can see how watery I make my paint. It makes a big difference to get it to flow and move around. And I'm going to use some really, I don't want this pink to be too intense, and it does have a tendency to do that, so you definitely want to make sure you use a good amount of water with this pink. And I'm going to dot that pink all the way up to the top of the mountain there. And I'm also going to use just a hint of my very watery yellow. Just drop in a few places of that right on top of the pink. And remember that this will dry lighter, so this is going to be pretty light. And that is it. That's all I'm going to do for this bottom section here, because like I said, I want it to be light so I can add my wording. So I'll wait for this to dry and then we can add our trees.